Your team of survivors has been sent on a mission to excavate an ancient desert city and recover a legendary flying machine that's rumored to be powered by the sun. Moments before arriving at your destination, an unexpected sandstorm forces your helicopter to make a crash landing. Now stranded in a vast desert and exposed to its unrelenting storm, your only hope of survival is to quickly excavate the city and find the parts of the flying machine and rebuild it to escape. If, however, any of your team expires from thirst or the storm becomes too intense, your whole team loses and you become permanent artifacts of the Forbidden Desert. Join us on this week's episode of Preventing Boredom as we review Forbidden Desert.
Forbidden Desert is very similar to Forbidden Island. A player takes their turn, which is then followed by the board's turn. However, this time, you aren't on a sinking island, but a desert that's trying to bury you alive. Explore through the desert, excavate the city ruins for mounting sand, and don't let the storm get out of control. Always remember, though, to keep an eye out on your water levels. Otherwise, you might find the board to be a little overwhelming. Find the 4 parts to build the sun-powered ship, and get off the desert before it becomes your tomb. Alright guys, let's get to those rankings. Craig, let's start with you. What do you think of the components?
Alright, the components of this game are pretty good. I do like the details on the small things, and I also looked again at the components before we started recording this, and they decided to go with metal for the engine to add that little extra to it. So I'm going to actually give them a 7 out of 10 on this one. They did a pretty good job with the components. Again, player pieces aren't the best, but with the rest of the components of the board game, it looks great.
Yep. I went with a 6, just because, you know, the wooden pieces, they're just the little wooden peg miniatures, player pieces. They're nothing too special, not a whole lot of detail with them. But like Craig said too, some of the components too, the metal engine, there's the propeller piece, some of the, what would have been the artifacts or the pieces of the ship, actually they do well on. So yeah, I go with a solid 7 on that. Let's go ahead, let's move on to artwork. Craig?
Alright, for the artwork, they just do a great job. As you can even see with the board, or the can itself, it looks very beautiful. It has multiple layers, and there's even it pops out.
It's embossed.
It's embossed.
There we go.
Which is that extra detail. And when you look at the different cards, you can see multiple things in the background. Each one is its own picture. They didn't just copy and paste over. They could have just gone very bland, but they put extra care and detail into it. I'm giving them a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I gave him an 8. I think it's great. Some of the details in the cards, or especially to the location tiles, when you get down to it, they really put a lot of work and a lot of detail in those, and you can pick apart the little aspects of each individual room. It almost feels like you are kind of going through the city ruins and kind of picking apart this city. So solid 8 on that. So all right, let's move on. Thematics. How immersed were you? How captivating was this game?
So thematically, when you first start out, you're playing a game. But as the game goes longer, the storm level rises, you start having the sand build up around you, and things are getting tight. Your character's getting thirsty. You're getting thirsty because you're involved in the game. I get very immersed. I love this game, and yeah, you start panicking with what your character probably would be in that situation. So I give it a 7.
Yeah, exact same ranking. I went with a 7 as well. I love this game. It follows right along with the Forbidden series, which, sneak peek, you will have a 3rd Forbidden coming up here in the near future, so be looking out for that. But along the Forbidden titles, they just do a great job of the gameplay, the thematics of it. It really captivates you, wanting more and more and more. So just the newer era of board games, just kind of getting you something a little extra than your just traditionals. So good stuff.
Alright, so now let's go into our final thoughts. What is your overall opinion? What would you rank it? Do you recommend everyone else to buy it?
Sure. Yeah, I recommend this game. to a lot of people. It's a good one. I gave it an overall 7. I think it's a good game. It's got really good the game style, the gameplay of it is really good. They did a great job on it, and it's right in line with the Forbidden series.
Yeah.
So.
I have to agree with you. I give it a 7 as well. The only thing that's really holding it back for me is compared to the first game, it's a little on the more easy side. Once you play it a couple of times, you kind of get used to it, and you're like, oh, this is kind of the best way to go about it. And there's the problem of if the storm gets stuck in a corner, the game gets tremendously easy for a little while. And granted, while you're playing, sometimes it's great. And you don't always need a challenging game, which is why we still enjoy it. But that's why it's capped out at a 7 for me, is because it's not as difficult as I would wish it were.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if you give me Forbidden Island and Forbidden Desert on the same night, I'm going to pick Forbidden Island every time. I think it's a little bit better of a game, a little bit more captivating.
Yeah, I would probably choose it just a few more times. Like, out of 10 times, I'd probably play it 6 times to Desert 4. Because it is a good game. If you haven't played it, go out and try it. But with it, Island, because of the difficulty level, Island's a little more, leaves you more wanting. Because you'll fail more often, but be so close to the goal.
Yes, agreed.
So that's it for this week. We hope you enjoyed our review. If you can, just please leave us a like, comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and we'll try to get back to you on some of your comments.
All right, guys. Have a good one.